Saving 10K in a year is only $27.39 per day, which sounds simple enough, but there's a problem. Everybody's out to take money from you in ways that you may not even be aware of. And in the past 5 years, we've been able to save up close to 400K, which is just insane to me. So today, I wanted to share 10 tips to save 10K, and trust me, you'll want to stick around for each one because some of these I've never shared before. Number one is, if I didn't ask, I don't need it. I have a rule at my house that if a salesman comes knocking on my front door, I am not going to buy anything from them on principle. The reason being is that there's a 99.99999% chance that they're selling me something that I don't really need. If I truly needed it and didn't have it for the past 29 years, then by definition, I would be unalive right now. But that's not the case, is it? So here's some things I've been offered at my front door that I've definitely said no to. Solar panels, I pay for electricity. Window cleaning, they're fine. Home security, I have a ring. Insect killer, my shoe works great. None of these services or products would drastically improve my life. None of them are critical to my day-to-day. And all of them are already taken care of for a much lower cost or zero cost than what you guys are offering at the front door. So the next time somebody comes knocking on your door and trying to sell you something, it might be worth asking yourself, is this a priority or is this just a really good salesman? Most likely it's the latter, and you can kindly say no and thank them for their time. Number two is don't buy things on sale. This is because you probably don't need it in the first place, and most likely an ad came across your desk or your screen or something and it just caught your attention. But that doesn't mean it's deserving of your hard-earned money right now. Sales happen all the time, all throughout the year. And unless a company is truly going under and they're trying to just liquidate everything like Mattress Firm seems to every single week, there's probably going to be another sale sometime in the year, most likely around a given holiday. And that's where you can use this technique effectively to save some money. I did this a couple years ago when I had to buy a new laptop. I found the one that I wanted on Amazon, and I knew that Amazon Prime Day was just a few months away, so I just waited. If you wait till Prime Day, or it's basically Prime Week now, chances are the thing that you're looking at is going to cost a lot less than previously, and then you can buy it then. It also gives you time to save up to buy that thing instead of putting it on maybe a credit card, for example. That tip alone saved me $300 on the laptop instead of just buying it instantly as soon as I wanted it. So don't buy just because you see it on sale, and just wait for the next holiday because there's most likely going to be a sale then, and you've actually planned and saved up for it. Let's go. Number three is the 30-minute rule. If anything is being sold with any type of urgency or timing or speed to it, I ignore it. And that's because urgency has proved to be a very powerful persuasion technique that salespeople use to try to get you to buy sooner rather than later, because the sooner they have money, the better for them. And it kind of reminds me of those old infomercials that said you had to call in the next 30 minutes if you wanted the sale that they were promoting.
But I'm not done yet. Call right now and I'll triple the offer.
But if you think about it, the commercial they're running is going to be on some type of schedule, maybe playing every 2 or 3 hours. So the 30-minute timer is not even connected to what they're selling at all. And they're just banking that you don't even think about this stuff. But this isn't just some old technique. It is alive and well today. And the proof is from this guy right here. Alex Hormozi has a new book coming out, and he mailed me something in the mail saying that if I buy right now, I'll get VIP access and maybe they'll run out of books. So I want to make sure to get my pre-order in now. And I had a red flag go off in my mind immediately of, like, wait a minute, I don't need to buy this book right now. I may not even need to buy it ever. And I'm sure once it's out, people are going to do some type of video review, or I'll get some summary of the content somewhere on the internet. And maybe he's going to be selling it for cheaper later on Amazon when they're running a Prime Day sale. So it's just a really good reminder that if something is being sold with urgency, you probably don't need it. Sorry, Alex. Number four is nothing is a need. Okay, that's kind of a lie. There's basically only 3 needs that we have in life, and that's gonna be water, food, and shelter, pretty much. Everything else can be argued as a want, and I know that's kind of an extreme stance, but I like to test ideas all the way to their extreme, and if that logic still holds up, then most likely a moderate argument does too. And in this case, you can simply save money by identifying very clearly what is a need and what is a want. We want just about everything, but we really only need a few things to live a content and happy and fulfilled life. If you have the 3 needs I mentioned earlier, but also a few valuable wants in your life, like good people to hang around, a goal to aim towards, meaningful work in your life, things like that, you'll quickly realize all of this crazy consumerism isn't necessary for you to live the life that you actually want to live. And then it'll be very easy to save up $27.39 a day. Just a thought. Number 5 is to sell your car. If you're like most people in the US, you have some type of loan on your car, and the average car payment for a new car right now in 2025 is $749 per month. If that's you right now and you're struggling to save and invest, might be a good idea to sell that thing and get something way cheaper, even a reliable used car that you can pay cash for. If you do something like that, it's going to leave a massive gap in your budget that you can use to save money and invest as much as possible. That's the stuff that actually builds your wealth. And that's kind of what we're going for here. But if you have a car that you can't afford, then it's draining your bank account every single month with the payment. The insurance, if it's a nice car, is most likely higher than you would have otherwise for a cheaper car, not to mention any maintenance that you might need and the value that's going to sink like a rock. Cars really are the quiet wealth killer that most people do not consider. And by the way, this doesn't have to be forever, right? If you really love cars, swap yours out now for a cheaper one, then save and invest, and once you hit your financial goals, go crazy with whatever nice car that you want. Me, I usually stick to Toyotas like this RAV4 here, and we also have a Prius because I'm not really impressed by cars. I don't care for the cheap status game that people play with them, so I'm gonna go for something used, reliable, and that doesn't take money out of my bank account. Number 6 is to shop at the right store. A few weeks ago, my wife and I sat down in the living room and we looked through every single grocery item that we buy on a monthly basis. Then we got the price that it costs, we calculated the price per unit to see which one truly is the cheapest, and then we compared it across the stores that we usually go to. Basically, we wanted to see which store has the cheapest items that we like. Usually we shop at Target and Costco because we like both of those places, and we were getting most of our stuff from Target and then a few bulk items from Costco. But after looking through the actual prices of things, surprise, surprise, Costco has a lot of really good deals. Duh. And by the end of this little exercise, we were able to save about 20%, or I think $150 on our monthly grocery bill just by making sure that we're shopping at the right place. And because this whole thing was very tedious and manual and it took a couple hours, the data analyst in me said, I bet there's a way we can automate this. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm creating an app that's going to have the prices of every store that we go to, and it's going to have every single item. And then I can easily see, should we go to Costco this week? Should we go to Target? Maybe even Walmart? Really just depends on which one has the lowest price. So sign up for the waitlist down below in the description if you want access to this app when I finish building it, and I'll make sure to send it right over to you. Number 7 is the minimum rule. I truly believe financial literacy is one of the most important singular skills that anybody can learn and should learn. And when I say financial literacy, I'm not talking about being some top investment banker or some, billionaire business person. I think it can be way more simple than that and have a dramatic impact on your life. If you simply don't spend every dollar that you earn, you save and invest money before your bills, and you have the discipline to say no to impulsive urges, you're going to be way ahead of most people, to be honest. And going back to a previous point I made, almost everything is a want and not a need. And I would just hate to spend an entire week, 40 plus hours working really hard at my job just to have nothing to show for it. That to me would be the biggest waste of time and effort in my life, and that's not really something that I want to do. So learning even just a little bit of financial literacy can have massive ripple effects in every single area of your life. Number 8 is there are no free lunches. A few weeks ago, I got a scratcher in the mail from a local car dealership that said if I got 3 in a row, I would win some sort of prize. And I know the trick they're playing, but I was actually curious how they go through this entire process and how they actually get people and get leads with this stuff. Of course, I got 3 in a row. And then I gave them a call to say, hey, I'm a winner. What do I do next? What's the next step? The guy that initially answered seemed a little bit confused and then realized what I was telling him. And he goes, oh, okay, like, congrats. And then he told me that all I had to do was come down into the dealership and then compare the number that I got to the number on their leaderboard that's in their lobby. Of course, he wants me to come in person so then he can persuade me to buy a car. And I knew that because in the middle of the conversation, he very subtly dropped oh, by the way, are you in the market for a new car? No, obviously not. But ultimately, the whole idea of the scratcher thing was just a creative way to get me into the store. So hopefully they can then use their salesman to persuade me to buy something. So if you ever come across a company claiming that they have something for free for you, it's definitely not for free. There's something in it for them, and you can save a whole lot of money knowing that ahead of time. All right, these last 2 are my 2 favorite rules of this entire list. Number 9 is saving money in a high yield savings account. I have been doing this for years and years, and it's one of my favorite little hacks that a lot of people don't know about, because a regular savings account is going to pay you just a couple pennies of interest for having your money sit in that bank account. But a high yield savings account is going to pay you way more, sometimes up to 10 or 100x what a regular savings account is going to pay you. And the key for a high yield savings account is to look for things like no fees on it, no minimum deposit required. There's no limit on how many times you can deposit and withdraw from it. And of course, it has to be FDIC insured, because if the bank goes down, you don't want to lose all your money. Now, I personally use Wealthfront. You don't have to use that. I'll leave my referral link in the description if you like to check it out. But they've been really good to me. And over the past couple years, we've earned something like $5,000 or $5,500 from them just by having our emergency fund sit in there. And it pays me around $175 to $200 every single month. So if you want to use a high yield savings account, I'll leave my referral link to Wealthfront down below. Again, no pressure to use it. And number 10 is my all-time favorite. It is a very, very simple hack that I've used for a long time. It is called the delete rule. Basically, I want to make it very, very difficult for me to purchase anything online. This is especially true today, but anytime you buy something online, it's most likely going to ask you if you want to save your card information for the next time you're there. Makes a lot of sense if you're the company because it's going to earn them a lot more money. But as a consumer, this is bad for you if your goal is to save money because again, speed matters when you're trying to buy stuff. And if you can buy things really quickly and very easily, there's a higher chance that you're going to spend more money over the long term. And so companies know this, right? It's why Amazon has the one-click button. If they made it really, really difficult to buy, you'd probably give up in the middle of the process. And that's the key for us. We want to delete anywhere that our card is saved so that every time we want to buy something online or every time we're tempted to buy something online, we have to input every single digit on our card number. We have to input the date, the key in the back, your full name, the whole bit. It's going to take 30 seconds or 60 seconds. You got to get up and go get your wallet. It's a whole mess. That's the whole point because during that time, you're most likely going to be second guessing that purchase and that can help you avoid impulse buying, which is kind of the whole idea behind this tip. So if you have some type of online shopping addiction and your goal is to save and invest instead, delete anywhere that your card information is saved, and you'll find that over time, you're gonna have a lot more money sitting in your bank account. So if you like those tips and you wanna see 11 more rules on how I save money, check out this video next, and I'll see you guys there. Peace.